Hello and welcome to a brand new feature. This is called A Beer with the Boys. This is your opportunity to get involved with Hammers Chat and to feature on our videos. You know what I think, you know what Gio thinks. So on match days, particularly next season, we're going to be sat down with a bunch of you, having a few beers on the boats. We'll get as many of you on as is possible, and we'll find out what you think about West Ham, how the football team's doing, where the club's going, all that sort of thing. So hopefully you enjoy it. Have a look. No, this video is called A Beer with the Boys. That's it.
Oh, so
if you want to get up and go and get a beer, it's very much in keeping with the video itself. Things can happen, mate. I've just put my phone down there. That may well ring when we're doing it. We're winging it. It's a new thing. I want to speak to a few people. I've not seen you in ages either. So you missed the last game.
Yeah. I was up at Runcorn. I was in Runcorn.
Runcorn. It's probably better football in Runcorn, Joe.
It might be better football. It's not a nice place, though, mind you. Stratford.
The film's already rolling, so the people of Runcorn, because the people of Runcorn always watch this video. They're going to be very, very... Right, we've got Jay, Liam, Scott. Right, this is before the Everton game. It's A Beer with the Boys. Scott, start with you, mate. Where's it all gone wrong this season?
Well, I think he's been, playing people out of positions too often. I was saying to you earlier about Ashley Fletcher. I don't get it. We paid all this money, it's £1 million for this superstar kid. We won't play him. But we'll play other people in his position, Antonio up top or out wide, and right back, as we all know. But right back doesn't work. But I don't know, just I don't know, and his substitutions seem to be a bit off, And he's I don't know, I think I'll fear him for the end of the season for him. I think he could be gone, Bilic. Would you?
What do I reckon? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're looking for an excuse to get rid of him, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I think and they keep coming up with this, give him the vote of confidence. Dreaded vote of confidence. He's here for the long run, all that lot. Well, and their choice of manager, as proven in the past with Avram Grant, or average Grant, hasn't been exactly stellar, has it?
Well, Steve Bruce next for us then, by what you're thinking. Liam, where's it gone wrong, mate?
2 disastrous transfer windows, and I'm a very much a Bilician person. His tactics are shocking at sometimes, aren't they? The way he lines up sometimes, and like you said, his substitutions are baffling at times. And I don't know, like I said, I'm very much Bilician, and I hope he's our manager next year, but I don't think he will be. I think the board have already decided that they're going to move on to Mancini or whoever they're lining up. I think they're just looking for the excuse now to pull the trigger, aren't they, and move on to the next manager.
I think you're right. I think they are looking for the excuse, and I think he's giving it to them, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a shame. I think the whole Payet thing hasn't helped his cause this season, but and then you look at, there must be unrest in the dressing room, and you hear that, Snodgrass coming in, earning whatever he's earning, more than established players in our team like Antonio. And you can understand why they'd be pissed off. Snodgrass has been poor since he's been here. He's not really had one decent performance yet, has he? And yeah, I fear for Bilic, but I do hope he's managed next year, but I can't see it.
No, me neither, Jay. You don't have to talk about Bilic. What about this season generally?
To be honest, I think it started last season. Defensively, we were letting in 2 goals a game. Sticking Antonio right back. Obviously, he scored against Spurs with that header from right back, but yeah, defensively we were shocking for sort of the last third of last season. We had to score 3 goals to win a game. This season we can't do that because we haven't got no strikers. So that's where the football's going wrong. Defensively, we've been crap for ages.
So he can't organise defence, really?
No, he can't. He ain't got. And the fact that we've got Bilic and Dix in the staff, and we ain't got a defence. I just don't know what's going on there, really. It's just, and fitness. Obviously, we talk fitness loads. There ain't no fitness. So what's going on? What are they doing wrong? I don't know.
Scott's nodding when he said fitness.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Sacco today. It came out, I don't know if everyone's seen it online, saying that he's only fit to play 30 minutes. But you see him in training, running up and down the pitch, laughing and joking with Correa and that. But it's like Yap Stan said about the intensity in training. If you look at the training sessions, they don't look like, it looks like a kick around in the park. As soon as they come to Saturday, like Mark Noble said the other week, the time they get off the pitch at half time, they're shattered. I mean, I went on the tour at the beginning of the season, and I'm not surprised they're tired. If you look from the edge of the pitch to get into the dressing room, they must be in their dressing room for less than 5 minutes.
I told you that phone would go.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, you know, like, it's, going back to the stadium once, you know, it's not fit for football. You know, because the time he gets in there, it must be 5 minutes in that training room. You know, it can't be any more than that. And he's got to try and go over at half time his piece, and he can't because he hasn't got enough time with each individual player to do it. And I mean, if you look at some of them, like Snodgrass for instance, he's coming in like Liam said, earning all his money, and I don't think he's performed at all. Like, I think he's a good player, but he's a good championship player at best. You know, and the money we've brought to pay for some of these players at IU, paying 20 million for him. He wasn't really fit at Swansea. He kept getting injured, and we could have got him for free. 85 grand a week, but no, we paid 20 million for him, for a half-fit player, gets injured, and then that's the gradual effect. He got injured, Antonio got injured, so on and so forth, and like Liam said, the old Payet thing, him leaving. I think it's just been a mountain of things just stacked against us, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, right, you know, you said a lot there, but a lot of what you're saying is really to do with a playing side, but then there's been a whole separate issue. Stadium, I mean, we're all season, we're all there because we all come to every game, basically. The stadium's just over there, obviously you can probably see we're on the boats at the moment, it's a lovely sunny day. It's good on here, as I'm sure you all agree, but there's been other problems going on with the club at the moment. You know, what's your take on that, Jay?
Everything's going wrong, isn't it? You know, like, I mean, we said the transfers, obviously, but the stadium, like, the lies that we've all been given. You know, retractable seating is a big thing for me. I mean, it looks shocking. There was a story that I read today. Loads of the health and safety staff have quit because of the retractable seating. So I feel great sitting there. And then we were told by Gold himself we're going to be like so far away from the pitch, and we're not. We're like 3 times that far away from the pitch. So that's not good. Obviously the stewarding's improved. So that was obviously down to, not just down to you guys going to that meeting, but you know, that you highlighted the issues and they've improved it. So, you know, some things have improved, but I still don't see the place as a football stadium, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we can only impact the small stuff, beers, toilets, you know, things like retractable seating. I don't think we can get anywhere near, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Liam, overall?
With the stadium, it always feels like always an away game when you're going in there. It doesn't feel like home, but maybe once everyone's with the moving around this summer, everyone will be more happy where they're sitting, and we can get a better atmosphere going. But at the minute, I mean, the atmosphere's dire at the minute, isn't it?
Right, we're back. It's part 2. We've changed people, in case you haven't noticed. Darren, Mark,
right, mate.
Boom, Akabusi's in the room.
Right, check it out.
Akabusi, there we go. Right, we're not talking about the game today with Everton. Just come in a set a little bit, Darren. Cheers, mate. I just want to cuddle, that's all, mate. What we're talking about really today is, I don't want to talk about the Everton game per se, because by the time I put this out in midweek, it'll all be old. It's just really about your feelings this season, about the stadium, about West Ham as a whole. I didn't expect Kriss to turn up, to be fair, but I'm very interested. Now I'm going to nail him now he's here. The whole thing about, because obviously you must be split on it, you know, world-class athlete, gold medal winner in Tokyo, there you go, put that in there. there's almost a pull between athletics and football in the stadium. Obviously, UK Athletics were the first people to pay into that stadium, so we're tenants. UK Athletics are tenants, but there's a big problem with the seating in there. Clearly, they reckon it's going to cost $8 million a year. And they're now talking...
$8 million need to do what?
To retract the seating back and forth.
Okay.
So they're now talking about moving UK Athletics to Birmingham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to almost pay them off. I mean, what? I've obviously put you on the spot. What do you think about that?
Bit naughty, really, because it's a community stadium, taxpayers' money. Athletics is not as big as football, but it's still, a national sport. We've got many national icons that's come out of that sport. So, I'll be really upset if I felt that football had shoved athletics out of the way. I'm West Ham, really happy that we've got the stadium, but we've got to share. We have got to share. And, for a team like West Ham, for a sport like the Premier League, £8 million is not a lot of money to stump up to share with other people. So I'd be a bit naughty. Naughty.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. You've been told. I mean, to be fair, the stadium was built for athletics. That stadium wouldn't exist if it wasn't for athletics. The reason I keep pointing that way is the stadium's there. What are your feelings, Mark? Obviously, you've been down here. You're a season ticket holder. You're down here every game at the Bows. What's your general feelings? And not a lot about the athletics thing per se, but just about the stadium this season and the move in general. How's that worked out for you?
Well, for me personally, it's been a lot easier getting to the ground because we can get the train. It's 30 minutes. Drive in, it could be an hour and a half, 2 hours to get home. So for us, in that respect, for being at Upton Park, it's much, much better. With regards to the stadium itself, we've had a lot of issues, a lot of problems, whether it be from fans standing up or security not doing their jobs correctly, or the stewards not doing their jobs correctly. But slowly but surely, they're getting better and better and better, and the match day experience is getting better. So, in all, I think it's a real positive move for us as a team because we can then, with the amount of revenue we can generate from fans and obviously ticket sales, it's got to be better for the club.
Yeah, I think so. Well, for those of you who don't know, Mark is actually, security is what Mark does. So he knows he's, you've seen when all these things are stewarding and that sort of thing, and things that I know you've made a couple of suggestions to the club yourself, haven't you, regarding some issues?
Yeah, I mean, the guys that come around, they say they're going to try and speed it up by getting wands. And the great thing about wands, if nobody's got anything metal on them, go on through. However, if they've got metal on them, and most of them have watches, necklaces, whatever, it's stop. What is it? Check it. Stop. Change in your pocket. Stop. So it's a continuous, wand, stop, wand, stop, wand, stop. If somebody's searching, and Kriss will know, being ex-forces, you can do a really good search in about 10 seconds. And it will save all the stop, start of the wand. And I just think the wand slows up the process.
Yeah, well, you're speaking to an Olympic athlete there, mate. Kriss can do a search in 5 seconds. Darren?
Yes, mate.
What? Not a stadium. Your views on this season? I mean, it's not been a classic season. Where's it gone wrong for you, do you think?
I love West Ham through and through. Cut me an up, I'm claret and blue, but I think the thing is that the stadium's great, like you said. The hairs on the back of my neck go up every time the Bubbles is sung, and you could play in a park, and as soon as everyone starts singing that Bubbles is fantastic. I think there's a bit of inconsistency in the way that we're playing. 1 minute, the first half we'll play brilliant, second half we fall off, or against Leicester it was the other way round. 2-0 down, I don't know, it was 6-9 minutes, whatever it was. But in the second half they turned it around. It's fantastic. I don't know, it's a few many injuries as well. Don't know what's going on with the training, but it's a price of progress, I suppose. Hopefully next season we'll be bigger and better. Hopefully they'll Mr. Gold and Mr. Sullivan will dip their hands in their pocket, come up with some brilliant players and quality players as well. Someone that's going to sustain a momentum and bring the club on, and so we've all got something to shout about like we always used to.
Well, so we need something to shout about. Kriss, do you think? I'm going to get you again on this because there's been a lot of talk about fitness, and obviously normally I'm sat down with Gio, and Gio doesn't know anything about fitness. He knows about sitting on the sofa.
And I do.
He certainly does. It does. There's a fine figure of a man there. Not that I can talk particularly. Do you think our fitness has been lacking? Do you see that? Are you just watching as a fan, or I know you watch the games as a fan, but when you watch the players on the pitch, do you think at the end of games that our fitness is less than the other teams?
It depends who you're talking about. I mean, I look at someone like Antonio, and that boy's fit. I see him doing his shuttle runs, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then doing some skill at the end of it. I think, mate, you're in shape. But then I look at, you know, Figuli and Toure, and I think, mate, you need to get into shape. So, you know, it depends who you're talking about. I do think, and I'll, you know, probably get sorted for this, I do think actually it's tough for Premier League footballers, because when I think about my time as an athlete, you got ready for 2 or 3 peaks in a season, and you knew everything was getting ready for that moment. And so there'd be a time of loading, speed, endurance, speed, deliver. Whereas when it comes to footballers, we expect them week in, week out to be in shape, 2 games a season, top of the money. And I just don't think it's possible. So you get mediocrity. The reason I think teams like City, Chelsea, and ever increasingly being like Tottenham and Arsenal can do better is because they've got 24 or 26 players that are real good players. Teams like West Ham, we've got 14, 15, and then we're bringing on dregs. I'm really sorry, I don't want to be that rude because they're not dregs. I mean, they're always good players, but you know, not top class Premiership top half players, and that's our problem. So we rely on guys like Lanzini, like Antonio, and like, I mean, Pedro Obiang. What a great season he was having. But the position he was playing, up and down, put your foot in, distribute, you can't do that all season. He needed a backup, son. 2 games on, 1 game off. Who could do the Obiang role? Nobody at the moment can do the Obiang role. And so it's that. So I would say to Gold and Sullivan, and I am supporters of those guys really. Look, guys, you've got to put your hands in your pocket and you've got to back up the Obiangs, the Antonios, the Lanzinis. You know, you've got to get those 3, 4, 5 key players, back them up with key players so they're fighting for their role. Sorry, Andy Cole doesn't work for me. I like him when he's in shape. Batter him when smack. It's great. But too many times you're on the bench, son. 15, 17 million quid. Sorry, we threw that away. You got so don't talk about. I don't hear about Sturridge. I don't hear about another great player on his day, but it's in the physio room. I want guys that can back up Antonio, back up Lanzini, back up Obiang, back up the Kiwi, you know, and they're going to be there as great backups. Then you can perform at world-class levels.
Well, I think he's named them all. Lanzini, Obiang, Reed and Antonio. So I mean, we've got 4 absolute key players.
Coyote, yeah. He's
I like Coyote. I saw a little bit. The problem I think with Coyote, and this is I like Bilic, but naughty Bilic, putting him right back for half the season when that guy, him and Obiang in the middle of the park, would have been phenomenal. And of course, you know, you take them with Noble. What a phenomenal team we got. But you don't put him right back, because then all of a sudden you lose his confidence. Like you saw down at Bournemouth, people start to target him, mugging him off. He starts feeling that he's not as good as he thinks he is. If you play him in the right position, he's a world-class performer. So yeah, Coyote every day.
Yeah, no. The reason I was a bit reticent was I was thinking more about what the top clubs are going to poach off us. I've seen firsthand, I went down a training ground earlier in the season, Coyote is the main man in that team for team spirit. The main man, the players love him. He's a joker, tomfoolery, he's a big character, and they love him. So he's actually integral, not only to the team and the athleticism of the team, but actually the team spirit as well. Big time. He's a real character. A leader in many respects, maybe not a sort of, you know, a rally in speeches, but in terms of him making everyone happy, he's a leader. What do you, I mean, so, you know, say 4 or 5 key players, has that been the problem with the playing staff? What are you looking for us to do? Is that how we can improve?
I think we need it to cull in the summer. I think we've got too many, I'm not dregs as you call it, Chris, but he's absolutely right. We've got at least 6 players that shouldn't even be on the bench that are taking up positions on the field of play, and we need to change it.
Nordveit, Kaleri. Sorry, fellas.
Well, you know, I'm not so sure about Kaleri. Definitely Figuli, definitely Toure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm disappointed at Bilic.
Kaleri.
Well, Kaleri hasn't really been given the opportunity, has he?
But you've seen enough of him.
I think we've seen enough, but no, I mean, it is all about opinions.
For me, I haven't seen enough of Kaleri. He's made a couple of cameo role, appearances, but he's not been given a steady run. he's an Argentinian. I'm not a great lover of Argentinians, as we know, but he's a quality player, as is Lanzini, and he's good on the ball. Well, look at the last game he played. He held the ball up. Nobody could get the ball from him. If it was Sacco in the same position, he'd be giving the ball left, right, and centre. So, but we do need a culling. We need to get rid of at least 6 players, and we need to buy in quality. We've had this for a season. It's now time, and I love Gold and Sullivan for what they've done to the club. They've rescued the club from the Icelandics.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
and I totally agree with you there. All right, but now it's up to Gold and Sullivan to okay, let's invest in the team. Let's invest in the squad. And let's do what we can to make us a top 8 team. I'm not asking for the top 6 or top 4, but make us a top 8 team, and that will keep everybody happy if we make the top 8 next season. But more importantly, it then gives us the foundation to move forward in the future. And the fans are fickle, and they go with the way we're playing. If we're playing great, they'll be behind everybody. If we're playing bad, they look for excuses on who to blame. Right? We must build a foundation, and we don't have that foundation at the moment.
Okay, foundation. We need a foundation. Gold and Sullivan need to invest to get to top 8. What's it going to take to get us to top 8, Darren?
Big money. You know, we sold. I don't know what we sold the Bowling for. I don't know, 250, 300 million or something.
No, I think the Bowling went for. They did the figures. We got 40 million for it. 40 million.
You should be on stage. You should be on stage.
No. We sold the Bowling. No, with the figures. They did the figures. It was rumoured it was 35 million. We sold it initially to Galliard Homes for 35 to 38 million, and then actually
that's top of the paper, 40 million under the table. 80 million. Don't even go there. This is London real estate. Prime real estate.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Listen, I'm not sure. That's what's been reported. I'm telling you. Well, listen.
London,
no, you can't.
No job.
Well, okay, they're not having any of it.
No. Well, I think, to be honest, one of them. I mean, to be honest, they've got to put their money where all the fans want them to put it, and that's invest in the team. You know, everyone turns up every week in, week out. We've got 60,000 people now. It's a lot of people in that stadium, and a lot of people to get behind the team. And I think that we can make it work, but they've got to invest to go forward. Like I said, progress comes at a price, and that price is investing, and they know that. They're businessmen, same as I am, you know. But at the end of the day, without the actual input of the money, we ain't going nowhere.
Okay, but they would say to you, if they were here now, which they're not, but they would say to you, we spent the 7th most in the Premier League this season, and there is a direct correlation between how much you spend and your finishing position. I'm not saying that. That's what I'd say to you. What would you say back to that?
Well, at the end of the day, we bought wrong.
That's it.
Or investment.
Quality or quantity. We went for quantity and it wasn't good enough. We need to buy quality, 2 things. We need to buy quality, back up 4 or 5 quality players, right? And then we need to do what we used to do, give youth a chance.
Yeah.
Fletcher should be playing. Every time I've seen Fletcher, okay, he's raw, but he's nice. Give Fletcher a chance. Tell you what, the boy you sent off to Oxford or Reading.
Martinez.
No, leave it. Reece Oxford. Mate, he should be playing. You know, when you think of some of the guys that would never got a chance today, Lampard, Rio, Joe Cole, Carrick. We gave kids a chance in this club, and those clubs within 18 months proved how good they were, and unfortunately we weren't good enough to hold them, and they went elsewhere.
We have a history though and I see this sometimes. I think, are we repeating ourselves history-wise, especially when we're linked to somebody like John Terry? Yeah, and who's the other one that's quite old that we've been linked to?
Well, company. What are we talking about? Company.
Yeah. They're all past their self. They've all had their best years at other clubs. We need to buy a 25-year-old who's going to now improve and go on.
Historically, we've bled the young, sold the young, and bought old.
Yeah.
And that's not the way forward.
No, and exactly. And I would say to Gold and Sullivan, who I do believe are West Ham. I know they've been to Birmingham and stuff, but I do believe they're West Ham. Gold was just over there.
There's no doubt David Gold was born on Green Street. No doubt about it.
So I do believe, mate, when you're in your 70s, we're talking about legacy here. And Gold and Sullivan, you've done really, really well in life. Your family is set up. You're with West Ham. really invest in us, sing your name for the kingdom come. Come here, invest, do the right thing, and make sure that we can say, yeah, we had 20 years of the Golden Sullivan era, and they were phenomenal. Look where we came from, look where we are now. And they can do that, they can do that. They've got to have a real big ulterior motive, which is to make West Ham great again, really leave a legacy.
There we go. Right, well, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you to Kriss, thank you to Mark, thank you to Darren. We had Liam here earlier, we had Scott as well, and of course we had Jay. Thanks for being part of this. It's a beer with the boys. We run this feature once a month, I think. Well, obviously not in the closed season, we won't be down at the boat, so I'll probably just be whinging on a webcam again back from them. I'll be talking to myself on a webcam in future, and it won't be as nice and as jovial as this. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, the button's down there. But basically where Mark's belly is,
The big one.
Hello, boys.
if you press basically on your screens now where Mark's belly is, that will subscribe you to our channel and you can watch more of this rubbish. Thank you very much.